Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. So, in today's video, I'm going to touch on something, well, a lot of things that I talked about in the last video, and mainly is PSO2 New Genesis going to survive with two major content updates a year. So, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to leave a card at the top right about here, somewhere in the video you'll pop up. If you haven't seen that video, I recommend you check out that video first before you watch any further, because they did an interview with Hiro Arai, who of course does the NGS headlines and has been with the team since about, I think about 2017, when the game has been, well, New Genesis in its inception time. He's also was head of episode 5 in PSO2. Now, episode 5 wasn't terribly popular, especially with the Japanese market. Their trailer for episode 5 was downlight too much, and I agree episode 5 wasn't their best. It was okay, it gave us Dark Blast and a lot of stuff like that. Still not heralded as their best. A lot of people wanted the person who was in charge of episode 6 be in charge of New Genesis. That would have been a little different, maybe a lot better, but still, this is how it is. But anyway, in the interview, they were talking about content update and the very stark difference between Western and Eastern players. Now, for global sake, we have North America, the United Kingdom, and pretty much anyone outside of Japan will be pretty much global. And of course, Japanese has their own servers. Now, Japanese aren't too vocal when it comes to content versus people in global. Now, that's very telling when you see our global PSO2 comments on Twitter and Instagram and everything like that, when people are crying out for new content. Now, he did answer that question saying that the team is going to be doing major content every 2 times every year, pretty much. So every 6 months, a content drop. So we're looking at content drop for this winter, and then I can speculate maybe very late spring to very early summer for the next content drop if they keep true to what they're talking about here, which is very telling because who wants to wait that long for major content? And of course, they reverberated and said that, hey, we're going to do events and stuff like that so people don't get bored. Well, the only problem with that is if you do the same event, like a copy and paste from the old event, people are going to get bored and stay bored. So that's very contradictory to what you're trying to do. If you keep your events fresh, something new, maybe collaborations to very popular games or franchises or movies or anime, that can keep people playing the game for a while. Be very creative with events and stuff like that. Sega very much missed their mark on this one, and they missed it bad by doing the same event from the 9th anniversary. Granted, I'm pretty sure that their winter event is going to be the same thing, but with fire. And a lot of people have said the same exact thing. It's going to be the same. There's something going on at Sega, and I don't know what it is, but people don't want to do the same event. It's something to do. It's just not a lot to do. It's the same stuff. You're fighting the same enemies with the symbols on them, and you're getting practically the same type of items. I don't think people want to do that for very much. I mean, I pretty much have to force myself to play the game, but I want to play this game more. So I don't know if this game can handle being major content updates every 6 months. Sorry. I don't get it. Now, they tried to say things like, the events will keep people enthralled until major content. Then they say that we're not even on chapter 1 and that we're quite possibly still in prologue. That's just very stark, and I don't know if this game will survive that long. Personally, this game should have came out this winter. I feel they rushed it. They could have kept PSO2 going with, events, collaborations, and stuff like that. Maybe a lot of boost events and stuff like that, and just keep people hyped up on PSO2 while really refining New Genesis. I believe this game was rushed, and it's not showing, showing true to what it should be. I know Sega put their heart and soul 5 years in the making. They had pre-pandemic time to work on this game, and all they really had to show was 5 years of playing the same stuff over and over. I don't know how Sega's going to plan their updates. If they're going to be really massive updates, then maybe that's something. If it adds maybe a chapter or two or a really big chunk of the story, then sure, that'll make more sense if there was a plethora of content. But they've had 5 years from them starting on this game in 2017 to do more than the little bit of story that we got. So don't know what they're planning, and we'll see how the content, their major content update, will show this winter. If it's a lot of content, and I mean a lot, then I will just not say anything bad. Say, okay, we've got decent amount of content, but people are gonna rush through it so fast. And I think that's the problem with games like PSO2 and New Genesis itself. People rush games because there's just not enough side stuff to do. They do the story, and then what else will they do? They'll socialize. Yeah, there's that aspect. But again, like I made in previous videos, if they brought room functionality to New Genesis, and then maybe more social personality to the game, in which they said exploration sectors are for that purpose, there's not a lot of people doing it. I think this game will survive if, and I will stress this, the most important thing, listen to your freaking community. Because if people have to keep crying out for the same time, over and over for the same issue, guess what? They're not going to like it. And if you don't communicate to them that, hey, we hear you, we apologize, we're working on content, we'll update you as soon as possible, maybe you can get people hopeful. But we're almost done with summer. We've got about 2 weeks left of summer. And I don't think people are wanting to hear this anymore. They want to hear some type of update, get something fresh. Because once this little update in September is done, this little event, people are going to be crying out for something. Because after that, it's just going to go back to normal. So, I don't know what Sega's doing, to be honest. I don't want them to fail, but at the same time, they're failing themselves by not listening to people. So, I feel they really missed the mark on New Genesis. I don't want to say that, but I don't know how I feel about 2 major content drops a year. 3 or 4 would have been great. 4 would have been perfect. I mean, you got about 3 or so months in between content drops to really get some good stuff. I mean, you don't have to really emphasize on too much story. You could just put out new, fresh content to do, and then work on story. Kind of like what PSO2 did. So, we'll see what happens. I'm trying to be optimistic with this game, because I really love this game, and I had fun with it when the game came out, as sure as all my friends did, which, by the way, they don't play the game anymore. They don't want to play the game anymore. I think I'm the only one of my friends that actually really just plays this game, and it sucks, because the hype was too real. The hype train was too much, and people just stopped investing time in this game. There's just too much greed from Sega into this game, and they really need to step it up. But anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Again, I'm not trying to say or not wishing for Sega to fail on this game. They're just not putting the love into a franchise I grew up to. Born in '86, so I grew up to online games being a thing, AOL being a thing, and all that. And Phantasy Star Online was my first MMO, and I want this game to really shine. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I just want to hope that this game does great. But be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.